So, can we get this sin-filled sequel done?
Hey Hero, before we begin, I want to show you something that will make this review more like Sin City.
Great. Now everything's in black and white. If I start losing my energy like Artist Mole from Power Rangers, I'm gonna hurt you.
So what do you think?
Honestly, it's kind of pointless. But other than that, let's fucking get this review done. One of our heroes, Marv, wakes up with no memory of what happened and he begins to recollect his thoughts of the events. He remembers that it must be Saturday since he went to see Jessica Alba's character at her strip club. Leaving the club, he runs into frat boys trying to burn a man alive. He chases them off. The narration takes over and we end up at the projects, Marv's birth home, and after he catches up to the last boy, his old neighbors help kill them. Marv asks an important question to the final boy.
When you shot me, you called me Bernie. Why'd you call me Bernie?
Bernini. It's a brand name. The coat you're wearing. It's a Bernini.
Well, thanks for clearing that up, kid. Hey!
Really? You insult the guy off of what jacket they're wearing? That's like insulting a superhero based off what cape they're wearing.
Oh really? And where did you get yours from, Mr. Hero?
Capes are us. Why you ask?
You know that's owned by LexCorp, right?
Fuck. Marv shows that he doesn't have any idea of how he got the jacket nor his gloves. We meet Johnny, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who is a cocky gambler who heads to Katie's place. He sweet-talks one of the waitresses, and after showing how lucky he is, buys his way into a poker game in the back. The Senator Rorik eventually loses everything he has to Johnny's lucky streak. The cop warns him to get out of town. While that's going on, we look at Nancy and her depression, and her inability to pull the trigger on Rorik, seeing flashes of the dead John Hardigan, played by Bruce Willis. Hey, guess what? It's another movie where Bruce Willis is dead throughout the whole thing. Really? Crickets? That fucking joke was funny.
No, it wasn't.
Fuck you! We go back to Johnny, who, after taking his waitress out, he's followed by Rorik's men. He fights them off for a little bit, but because of Marcy, tells her to meet them at a hotel and gets into the limo. Rorik, who is pissed at losing, breaks Johnny's fingers with a pair of pliers, and after throwing him out of the limo, shoots him in the leg and reveals to the audience that Johnny is his son. Johnny, of course, vows revenge.
You beat me, Rourke. But when I get back, it'll be a whole different game.
We jump to another main character named Dwight, who is on the rooftop taking photos of a businessman who is sleeping with a hooker. After they screw, he goes to kill the hooker, but Dwight jumps through the glass ceiling and of course takes him down. Dwight gets a phone call from his ex Ava, and they meet at Katie's saloon, and she begs him for forgiveness. Ava's chauffeur demands that she leave the saloon.
Buddy, I don't mean to poke my nose right down my long, but that there is a dame to kill for.
There it is! There it is!
Dwight becomes obsessed with knowing what's going on with Ava, so he heads to her place. When he gets there, he witnesses Ava skinny dipping, but is caught and gets his ass kicked. Dwight is tossed in the streets in front of his own house, and Ava is waiting for him nude in his own home. The two of them end up fucking anyway, and the two end up talking about Ava's husband, only to have her chauffeur punch him out the window.
A wrecking ball hits me square in the chest.
This is Lord, your code.
Dwight goes to Katie's again, meeting up with Marv, and tells him about Ava's situation. The two of them head to Ava's, and Marv takes down the guards. The chauffeur picks up a fight with Marv, but does not see what's coming. You see what I did there? The guy didn't see his eyes being ripped out.
Just stop it with the corny jokes.
But it's my job. How do you expect a review without jokes?
You can't come up with any better ones.
Making me not do jokes and stuff like that. Everything. Dwight confronts Ava's husband, who denies any accusations. Dwight, of course, doesn't listen and beats the crap out of him, killing him in the process. Ava is there and reveals the whole thing was a lie, and in turn shoots Dwight in multiple areas, including the face. After Dwight falls out the window, Marv saves him from further damage, and they head to Old Town. Two detectives named Bob and Mort begin to investigate the deaths. Ava lies, of course, but one of the detectives, Mort, believes every word of it. When our heroes get to Old Town, the girls of the town have a few words for the cops. Those girls are hot.
Normally I would have to call you a pervert, but as a lesbian myself, I have to agree.
Well, this just got awkward, didn't it?
I bet it did.
Once the girls figure out it's Dwight that's injured, they rush to his aid. Mort calls up Ava to check up on her, and she, of course, seduces him over the phone, and they begin an affair. Tensions are high, as it seems all the girls want to kill Dwight for themselves. Gail defends him and tells them if they kill him, they must deal with her. Ava is enjoying manipulating Mort when she finds out through Dwight himself he is still alive. She demands Mort to do something about it. Bob does everything he can to stop Mort from doing what he's doing, but an enraged Mort shoots him in the face before committing suicide himself.
Which?
Ava throws a party and invites a mob boss named Wallenquist, and they come to an agreement to help each other out. A reconstructed Dwight poses as Wallenquist's man from Texas, but of course the chauffeur recognized the hatred in his eyes. With Gail and the assassin Miho's help, Dwight is able to overthrow Ava's men. Dwight slips out a hidden gun and shoots the chauffeur, but he still doesn't die. The two duke it out as his guns separate from him. Ava and Dwight both grab a gun and Ava shoots her guy. Ava tries her best to convince Dwight to join her side, but only meets a bullet.
Dwight.
The gun barks and bucks in my hand. Life leaves Ava with a sigh.
The movie jumps back to Johnny, who is visiting a doctor played by the great Christopher Lloyd, who, for Johnny's shoes, fixes his hand. He remembers about Marcy and goes to check on her, only to find her dead at the hands of the senator. Johnny heads into a diner and begs the waitress, played by Lady Gaga, for a cup of water. She feels sorry for him, so he gives her $1. Which he uses to get rich quickly enough to once again challenge the senator.
This guy is always trying to show up his father, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's probably gonna get him killed. Spoilers! Johnny folds a couple of hands before bluffing his way into winning once again with a musketeer's hand. Rorik, of course, is pissed off and puts a bullet in between his son's eyes for bragging about beating him twice. We jump to Nancy, who is visiting the grave of Hartigan, who has been followed by one of Rorik's men. We then see a depressed and alcoholic Nancy in her act of anger, and eventually she cuts her own hair in her rage. She gets a vision of Rorik, and it causes a mental breakdown as she cuts herself on a mirror.
Beautiful Nancy.
Nancy, of course, tells Marv that Rorik is responsible. Marv agrees to help out. As they leave, they are met by a biker gang, which they quickly kill off. The duo heads straight to Rorik, Nancy taking out the main guards, Marv taking out the rest. Once they make their way in, Marv is injured due to a Uzi misfiring. Nancy takes it upon herself to head after Rorik, but fails as she shoots a mirror instead.
You
clever little whore.
Rourke shoots Nancy a couple of times to make her injured but not dead. While Rourke is doing the typical villain revenge speech, Hartigan makes an appearance in the mirror and the movie ends with Nancy killing Rourke. To me, this film really... I honestly have nothing bad to say about it. I have nothing good to say about it. It's not my personal type of film that I like. But it does feel like you're watching a graphic novel coming to life. The only thing I really don't like about it is the color correction. Which, speaking of, can we please take off this black and white crap?
Oh, fine.
Thank you. So, what else do you have for me? Because, honestly, you haven't really given me anything for me to be pissed off about.
Oh, really, smartass? Well, fine. Here's something that'll really piss you off.
Fuck you.